Hey guys, welcome back to the garage. Well, now they're in the yard. Rol-Air. No, we'll get a model number when we get inside. Look how dirty it is. This turns a little light on maybe. I don't know if it helps much out here, but let's clean it up. It's a customized machine. It's got a Honda motor on it. There's some things on it that I've never seen before. Notice that this is off. And this is some kind of weird setup here. And you can't move this, like it's locked. I don't know if it ever moved. I started it, it ran. Right? We'll run it after I clean it off, just to burn off any water or whatever. That shouldn't be there. How that's even on, it leaks. So we're gonna see if we can fix that for him. All right, we'll be back in a bit. Let's get it cleaned up. I don't know which one's on or off. Let's find out. Yeah, I think that's choke. Let's see. Look how nice and clean it is. Maybe it's the other way. Can't see it. Yeah, see, it shut off. All right, so let's find out what's going on with it. It's making air pressure. I have the drain open, so all right, let's go bring it in the shop and take a look at it. I'm gonna use my suction tool. See that in there? Well, that's my tube, but there's some dirt in there. Very fine, but I think we can. All right, I'm sticking my hand in there. I think we can get that out. Yeah, let's suck it. Suck it. I don't think you can see it, but you can see some dirt down there. I mean, I can see it, and that's the first one, and I got more on the last bit. A little granularly yuck dirt, because that's technical. We really need to take that tank out and flush it, but if it won't come out because the bars are in the way or I run into an issue, this is step number one. Plus, we want to be able to get at the carburetor, and we don't want fuel leaking, completely out. It doesn't look like there's any other fuel shut off other than on the carburetor, so that's going to be a problem. So let me get the carb off now. We want to get into the carb, and this looks like it's locked out. I don't know if it's somebody just tightened it down all the way. Looks like somebody put a zip screw in here, and I'm going to show you that. So that's a problem, because it won't. The governor won't work properly. All right, let's get a 10 millimeter on this, and we'll start. So you got 1, 2, and 3, and that should be the start of it. Okay, so there's no way to get the carburetor off when it bolted to the frame, as I figured as much, right? So we have to start disconnecting some of this a little bit and make some room for everything. And the first thing I want to disconnect is we can't get to the oil drain because somebody mounted up this manifold here. So we need to get that off. And then they just kind of threaded it on and hope for the best. Now, it doesn't look like it's damaged too bad or much at all, so if we could reuse this is our regulator, and I think what we'll do is we'll try and make a bracket of some kind, and we'll put it here, somewhere in this area here. There's not a lot of ways to do bracketry on something like this. It doesn't have any bosses of any kind, so you have to just kind of pipe strap it or clamp it or something, right? Maybe we could put a right angle here and then clamp it to this edge, and this way you could get to everything. You really want it set back because these guys are rough-handed. They're roofers and they're not mechanics, and very often, like, this is not their stuff, right? If you think about it that way, it just isn't their thing. It's not their equipment. And so you want to make it so that these guys can actually kind of toss it about a little bit. It's not going to be easy to see a lot of this stuff for you guys because it's a compact unit. Oh, what's that? Where is that? That doesn't sound good. Uh-oh. Where'd that come from? That's a rock. That must have been in here. Okay. It's not in the engine. That's all I care about. All right. Now, this will be easy to get to. Let me get that board so I can slide this thing around better. Okay. So that's our transfer manifold, our air filter manifold. I have to get this gasket off. And then we got to reach down in there and I got to get that fuel line off. And we'll be able to take the carburetor out and just give it a really good cleaning. And maybe we will even be able to get this tank off because there's still dirt in there. I think that might go. There it goes. All right, now we should be able to slide the carburetor out. Seems to have slid itself back in. Okay, so now we can get the carburetor out. And we should be able to just lift up on that. Take that spring out of the way. Now we have carburetor, okay? Let's bring it on the bench and take a closer look. All right, it looks, clean because it wasn't really that bad to begin with. Uh-oh. Oh boy. Wow, that was on there. Now, this is the front, so it's just off to the side, this drain here. It shouldn't, oh, there's some junk coming out. Oh yeah. See, if this container was a little cleaner, but I can see it. Yeah, there's just some junk in there. That's it, that's all there was. All right, so we want to do, now, sometimes these come out. And I don't think that will, but, oh, wait, hold on. Sometimes they get stuck. And there's junk in here. That's not bad. There's a little filter here. All right, so we don't really need to do too much. It ran, okay, and it wasn't that bad. Getting the stuff out of the tank, maybe we can just blow the tank. Uh-oh. Hold on. We want to make sure we don't lose that. Okay, so this just lays on there. There's no pins or anything. All right. There's no washers, pins or weird stuff. We could try taking the jet out and just ramming it. Yeah, I feel a piece of on my finger. And I want to remove any debris from around this area first, because we don't want it going in, and when we go to clean that area. All right, let's turn it in and see what we get. That's 1, 2, 3, 3.5. Okay, so we could actually have it a little bit of higher idle, so if you want, we could make an adjustment on that later. Not a bad idea, especially as they age. Now we can just pry this up or just lift it up, take it out. All right, I don't see any junk in there, but we're just going to blow it through. We have the carb out, so a little bit off camera right now. Here we go. That should do it. Blow it. Low pressure. About 20, 30 pounds. Oops. That's plenty. And I'm going to just do this guy. I'm trying not to get it in the camera. Blow it. It's a dynamite shape. Now we're going to blow this guy out. Just a few spots. Doesn't take much, especially when they're clean like this. Well, that one fits, and that is an 021. This is an 0225. Oh, 225 fits. No, that doesn't fit. So we're going to drive that in. Just to make sure it's all nice and clean, and just increase the size just a little bit while I'm in here, because that's actually really small. That'll do it. Now we won't have any problems. We'll blow it out. All right, let me put this away. Put a little bit of the 2-stroke tranny fluid mix on this guy. And all up in here. Should be a lubrication pad on these. All right, it's the last time it'll see any kind of lubrication. You also put a little bit in here because there's an O-ring in here. It'll help with the slide. It'll keep it sealed. That's good. All right, we're done with that. Let's go mount it. That's what she said. All right, let's get the plug out. Stop fooling around and just get the plug out. How many times do I have to say that? Oh my God. I think I need an extension. An expansion. Oh, you know what? Let me blow that out. Those little granules. Even though I washed it, but those little granules, you know, I don't want them falling in. Just in case I miss. Oh, there's a little rock. See? A little pebble. So far we got these two. Yeah. Look at that. What's with that? Why is that so sooted? I have to clean that off. Well, it's running awfully rich. Let me take a look at the valves, and we don't want to take this off so that we can properly turn it over. You can see where the white marks are. All right, so hopefully it's been adjusted correctly, but we're going to have to find out. And then up here, here is the zip screw. I don't think it's supposed to be there. And this is locked. This handle is just locked. Let's take our 4,000ths and try to get it in here. Probably going to be in your way. We'll start off with 4. It needs to be a little tighter. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Now when we hold it and tighten the lock nut, we'll probably lose a little bit of clearance, which is good. Or we'll gain a little clearance, most likely. Try to hold it steady, now pulling the lock nut in. That's good. Yeah, that feels good. I'd say that feels pretty good. You can hear it. Yeah, that feels pretty good. We're gonna go with that. All right, I'm gonna just wipe this off a little bit more. This rail, and I'm gonna put a little bit of Gorilla Snot on. And then I'm gonna close this up. We look good in here. There's no dirt or anything in there. It looks good. Put away a couple of my tools and I'll be back in a bit. Once this is on, then we're going to go to this. We're going to see what the heck is going on with our governor. The gasket came out and it's got some oil in it. I put some of my solvent on. And then I'm just wiping it with a tissue. And then what we're going to do is we're going to lock it in with, I'm not going to use RTV, we're going to use Gorilla Snot on this. And we're really only going to put it on here, right? That's our main concern, is that it goes there. In fact, if you wanted to, you could put high tack on this side and Gorilla Snot on the other. Very light bead of high tack, a little thicker on the gasket. So I got the gasket basically kind of cleaned off of the oil because that'll get in the way, dried. Now we're going to put this on right away because I don't want to accidentally get it stuck and then it'll tear because it's very thin. So we're going to put it together now, just on the one side. Now we're going to let this sit. I like these products because they will dissolve if they get stuck in the oil. Like if some of it squeezes out and muses out into the oil, it will dissolve at some point, whereas the it doesn't cause as much damage, whereas the silicone, that will never happen, right? So, all right, we're just going to leave this, let it dry, and we'll put a little thin bead of some very light former gasket that's been thinned a little, blacker thinner. That's on. And fuel is on, so this is the fuel cutoff. This should be choke, and we're going to put it to like midway for a start. And it should start up. I'm probably going to piss air out all over the place because this one connector's off and there's no shut off. So you're going to hear it. Let's see. Feels like she's flooding. Oh, let's take the choke off too. All right, she's running good. Now I want to do an RPM test on this, so let me get my RPM gauge. We're going to do an RPM without any real load on it, right? On high. And my guess is it should be about 32 to 36. All right, so 3,200 RPM. You give or take a little bit. It wanders just slightly. That's without a load, but it'll try to maintain that in about 1920. And I just picked this one up, by the way, guys. I had another crappier one. This one's not potted. It's got a seal on it. It uses a very big battery, lithium style. And you can remote mount it. You can do job and RPM and hour meter and everything. So I kind of like that. You get the backlit. All right, so I got a bracket, I tapped it for 1/4 20, and kind of tight, but that's good. That goes there, right? Let's clean this off. Got a lot of extra thread sealant on it. Let's pull off some of that and just hit it with a wire brush, and then we're going to use blue block, which is better for something like this, especially when they think the threads are a little bit gooked. Let's get this off. There's way too much of it, and it's all built up around here. It's gone everywhere else. All right, that's out. Let me put the wire brush. This starts to look like they're okay. Just make sure it's clean. Now, let's see what's inside this thing. Let's blow that out. For oilers, it should have either an oiler on it or a filter. It really should, but it doesn't. So let's take some blue block. Feels like it's a little bit yucky. That'll do it. We'll wipe off the excess. Get this on you, you gotta get it off, or it ain't coming off. I mean, pretty much you get it on you, it's not coming off, pretty much. We'll thread this on, hopefully it'll take, because I think he screwed it up. And that's going on, but hopefully it gets tight before it bottoms out. It feels like it is. Now, I want it to be something like that. And I don't know if we're going to get another whole turn out of it. I'm going to have to hold that. Let's see where we can get it to. Needs to come up more. Good luck. Oh boy. That's close. I'd like it something like this. Now I know the gauge isn't in a great spot. But I don't want it to do this either. I would put a little bit of oil, just straight oil in that. There we go, that's enough, just a drop. That should be okay, and then it can be replaced. All right, we're done with that, and we need to check this oil. I'll have to put it down. Oil's not too bad. It definitely needs a changing. The oil, they are a changing. Yeah, there's no like mystery stuff in there or silvery goodness. Let me get rid of that because we're going to need that pan for the pump. Now here's a way to tell that the oil is not bad. See, when you leave a little bit on the bottom of the pan, especially if it's been setting for a little bit. If it looks fairly clear, it's just a bit orangey, and you don't see silt and black and everything, then the oil is not too bad, right? It's a good time to change it before it gets bad, but it's not too bad. Cock this to the side a little. It's easier if you've got it in this position, and that's why I'm only putting a certain amount in. Yeah, we can canter it a little bit. That's good. That's enough, right? That way you can still get in here and you don't have to bend like parallel to the ground. You can just kind of look over at it. Basically, you should be able to adjust that once, and then that's it, okay? That's not something that you're going to be adjusting a lot. It's not like an air supply for doing tires and everything else. It's too heavy for that. This is really a nailer, construction site type thing. So now let's get that tin. And I don't think there's that much in there either. So I think what we're going to do is see if we can tilt it just a little bit with this block of wood, just to give it a little bit of a tilt. All right, let's let that drain. I'll go set up a few ounces. There might even be a little water in there. Yeah, we got to let that drain out. That's dead oil. Oh yeah. All right, let's try. That's like 8 ounces. So this you can see, right? Different color altogether. That oil is dead. And let's put in about 8 ounces. We'll try. Well, maybe it doesn't take a lot, but I'll tell you what, we'll put half of this in. Just a little too much. And so out of the 8, I put in about 4 ounces, so I think it takes about 3. All right, everything looks good. So we're going to put it to about midway. Turn the switch on. We have our fuel is on. We'll put a little choke on it. Let's get it started, and then we'll let it run just for a minute, and we're going to just check maximum RPM should be, we're just going to be a scotch over 3,000, but we want to let it build a little pressure too. That should be enough choke. That must be the pump making that noise, but you can see this came out and pulled the throttle back. This is basically the reset when it hits max pressure. Let's put a little bit of lubricant on that. So it hit max pressure. Just putting my 2-stroke in there first, and then we'll put a little bit of oil. 2-stroke with tranny fluid. All right. That should sweeten it up. Okay, she's running fine. What we'd have to do now, it looks like she's hit max pressure, although I can't see in there, but we're over 120. And down here, we're at about 130. So that sounds about right. Right now we can adjust the regulator. Push to lock, pull to unlock. All right, watch. I'm going to throw this valve over here and watch this guy. Not doing it now. There it goes. Watch. Should do it. There it goes, see? It allows it to come in. And it'll kick back out. See? All right. That's it for that. Cool, huh? Yeah. Okay, guys, I think that's it for this one, right? This should have a clean bill of health. It wasn't running right. It's got a Honda GX120 on it. Pretty cool. So they use them for air nail and stuff like that. And, you know, it's a good little compressor. It's designed to be running all the time and then allow you to sort of cycle back and forth. So when it hits max pressure, it kicks it down, should kick it back up again. It should be okay. All right, so that's it for this one, a Rol-Air. Supposedly made in the United States for the most part, I guess assembled and pieces brought together and engineered here as a final package and supported and sold and under a company called Rol-Air Systems and US. All right, see you guys in a bit.